Hey, welcome to Chris Ticehurst Creativity. I'm here at the Ninja News studio room, whatever you like to call it. And I wanted to talk about sort of balancing the two projects in my life. The two things that I like doing, which is, my writing, website slash creativity stuff, and my Nintendo YouTube, which the balancing has always been really, really hard. And I think for 2 years I've been trying to rack over my head, with the Nintendo Ninja News, I've done over 700 videos in 2 years. Going to conventions and doing videos late into the night and doing online events with the Nintendo Directs and E3 and things like that. And looking at the amount of work I was doing, which was, I think, getting to obsessive levels in some respects. And I think with Chris Ticehurst Creativity, which is sort of the newish name, but I used to call it that a few years ago. Um, my other creative, you know, website was basically not being used much at all, and I wanted to bring a bit of a balance to it, in respects of that. Now, what I think, um, what I wanted to do was cut down on the type of videos that I was doing for Nintendo Engineers, because that was the thing that was taking up a lot of time. Was that I got to stick to the stuff that I'm good at, and providing news on it, breaking news, and that was always pretty good. So you'll see less videos of like I got rid of the state of the NNN, which I felt was probably unnecessary. It was good to be very transparent and open, and people ask me questions about the channel, how it's going. I'll be pretty open with them. I got rid of the NNN show because I didn't want to keep, numbering episodes and things like that. And I've now got this little YouTube channel and my creator website to really talk about how I feel about things in life and stuff like that. And I wanted to do the balancing act between that sort of stuff. So really, with Nintendo Ninja News, the sort of the videos that I'll do is news, more like book reviews and stuff like that, because apparently a lot of people like that sort of stuff. The guest spot, which has not been used in 6 months, sadly, and we'll keep on doing little, conventions and stuff like that. So with the streaming stuff, we'll keep doing that for the next couple months. I'm not too sure about the future of it. We might never really have that many games online again on the YouTube channel, because I just feel like it's not gaining many views or attention, and it's something that I don't mind recording half an hour to hour gameplay and putting it up there, new games on the Switch or something like that. But I'm not the best gamer around, and it makes it difficult to try to buy every new game because it costs a lot of money. And I don't have a Patreon account, which I have thought about, but I'm not too sure if I can really create a Patreon account yet that really offers much value to people in that. So I've really condensed down Nintendo Engineers. And you will see events like E3 or Nintendo Direct where there's a flood of 10 videos. But you will see some more quiet times with Nintendo Engineers. And that's so we don't, hammer you with 30 to 50 videos a month, which is a lot. We know other channels like Game Explain does a lot of videos. They pretty much update you on anything, even micro things. Stuff like that. But we, as you know, I have a job outside of this, a paying job. That's their full-time job. It's the same with many other YouTubers who do it as a full-time job, but this is more of a hobby thing. So it's very hard to judge different YouTube channels. So I knew I had to reduce the time on that. So Nintendo Ninja News is a lot more contained now, but still gets about the same amount of views per month. And it's not going down, but it's not, climbing massively. It's just, bobbing up and down in the ocean, doing fairly well for what has been a channel that's really never gotten much promotion at all, which is quite amazing for it to get 130,000 views. And, you know, I would say in that 2-year mark nearly, to get that many views and not really disappear, which has been great. And I have to thank all the people on that channel. Now, with Chris Ticehurst Creativity, I think it was a little easier, but a little harder. I think the main problem with the channel was finding the time to do it. Now we have that time, we can start putting a bit more effort into it. We had little subsections on the WordPress site that, you know, divided things up into politics and education and intended engineers. And I thought I'd just slap everything into like an opinions category. And I know that's a little harder for people to find information in that, but I don't care. I just want to run my own website the way that I like. And it used to be a writing website, and people were like, oh, you can't put non-writing stories on the website because it will confuse people. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'll just run it the way I like it, because I will enjoy it much better if I do it. So, you know, there's an opinion section. There's, you know, a place for photos and stories and poetry. And the updates on the front page that you'll see will be a mix of sort of, you know, text official news and YouTube videos where you can sort of see me chat about writings and things like that. And I think it will be cool. And there is a guest spot version of that too on Chris Ticehurst Creativity, which I think we could sort of use that to our advantage at places like GammaCon and places like that. I think it will be a lot of fun. And it will be interesting to see how that will work. You know, that's a convention for cosplays and things like that. So I want to go out and chat to people on video and, you know, talk about their creative processes and just, you know, anything that's cool and creative that I can see. And all that sort of stuff. And I like doing that sort of stuff. And I still enjoy doing my stories, and I still enjoy taking little photos at different events when I can. And I enjoy that sort of stuff. And I've kind of missed it after doing Intended Engineers for all this time. And I think trying to keep that balance is always a bit difficult. But I think I've just reached the level where, you know, that's an Intended Engineers, where I've pulled down the amount of content I was doing for that and stressing out about the views and numbers and that. And now with this free time, I can look at, you know, my website, which has been around in its current form for about 4 or 5 years. But I've always had a bit of a writing website since, you could even say 2001. When it was cjtproductions.com. Then I changed it to christicehurst.com in like 2006, 2007. That went for a few years. There was a few web design changes, and I kind of axed it because I fell out of love with writing for a little bit. I was having problems with form boards and life in general. And then it came back as christicehurst.me, and I really made a big effort to put literally everything that I've ever written onto that website. There's over 500 posts there. There's a couple dozen stories, 3 novels, bunch of poems, music, photos, spanning over, you know, over 10 years. But I've been writing for 22 years. So, but you know, my internet age is not as long as I've been writing since 1995, because I never owned a computer until the year 2000, 2001. So I guess I've owned a computer for quite a while, I guess. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk to people about, you know, trying to find that balance. And it is hard. It's difficult. It's difficult to do that. But I think it's good to have that balance between, you know, doing my Nintendo stuff and doing my creative writing, photos, you know, anything that is creating stuff and talking to people about their processes and that. One day I'll get to that. But I think it's been a lot of fun. And I think it's been really, really cool too. So from here on in, and also too about the email lists that's been happening. There is an email list that we have for Chris Ticehurst Creativity. There is actually a separate one for Nintendo Engineers. But I'm getting this funny feeling that I think I could get away with just doing Chris Ticehurst Creativity and having like an Nintendo Ninja News sort of section down the bottom for those who are interested in that stuff. So I think having one email list might be the way to go instead of having the two. I'm still thinking about that, but I can definitely say that I'm in sort of the final phases of sort of testing out ideas and going, fuck that off, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, this one works, and we're just going to go, and then I can continue to do creative stuff and probably, start getting back into story writing, that's why I'm trying to clean out all this stuff out, this, organizing and optimizing stuff and work it out like that. It's going to be interesting. So that's it from me. I'll see you next time on this channel. Bye.